One of the key elements of the last days of these end times is for the global governments to keep tabs on you at all times. Now, that doesn't mean just having a camera on you or a microphone on you to watch and see what's going on, but they want to know every bit about you, down to your DNA, to what you're thinking, to what you believe. They want to even get to the point of predicting your movement and what you're more likely to do before you even make that decision yourself. Now, that may sound crazy. That may sound sci-fi. That may sound conspiracy theory. But in actuality, they're already doing that, and most don't even know. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Zach, the Wretched Watchman, bringing you a little bit of information on the ads that you see online and how they are being used to create your digital profile, your digital twins profile, so they can know every bit about you, keep tabs on you, and be able to manipulate you without you even knowing about it. Now, one of the big things that we see going on is everywhere you go, there's advertisements, whether it's on a web page, whether you're shopping, Facebook, social media stuff, or even here on some of your favorite platforms to watch videos. Doesn't matter if it's Rumble, YouTube, Odyssey, or anything in between. There's ads there. Now, a lot of people might think that it has to do with money, it has to do with ad revenue, it has to do with making sure that the people who are putting their ads on sell things. Now, to some of the companies that are doing that, yeah, they're smaller places trying to get their merchandise out there as much as they possibly can. But to a lot of these corporations, has nothing to do with revenue. They don't care if you buy what they're trying to sell. They don't care if you watch what they're trying to promote. They don't care about any of that. What it has to do with is getting as much data from you as possible, learning as much about you as possible. Now, I've talked about this in the past, where we have here, at least in the United States, I'm not sure about in other countries around the world, but at least here in the United States, we have paper-thin legislation that keeps the government from just going in without a warrant and taking your data. But there's always backdoors. They always create ways to get around that. And what they do is they have data collectors that collect your data, and then they sell it to the government. And they don't have to get around. They don't have to get a warrant to do it. There's a loophole in the system that allows them to do that. One of the things was the 702 bill, I believe, it's been around for a while. It was extended by Trump, and I believe it's coming to an end this year unless they extend it again, which they may do that, or they may put on some show and say, hey, we're not going to extend it, but then they pass something else that allows them to basically do the exact same thing. And so a lot of what we see with advertisements has to do with reading what you believe. So we see on social media, I don't know if this has ever happened to you before, where you're not even on social media. You have your phone in your pocket or it's sitting on a table, and you're having a conversation with somebody and you're talking about toasters. Well, it's always listening. And what it's going to do is the ad people, the ad system, which is AI led, is going to listen to your conversation about toasters, realize that's what you're thinking about, that's what you want, and the next time you log on to social media, you're going to see an ad for a toaster. And again, you might be thinking this is science fiction, I'm Looney Tunes. It's really not. This is stuff that's been proven before. It's actually happened to me a couple times, and it's happened to some friends that I know. This is a reality of what's going on, is they always keep tabs, but it doesn't necessarily have to do with selling you anything. It has to do with learning your behavior, learning your beliefs, learning your wants, your likes, your dislikes, and creating your digital twin profile about you. And they want to get it to the point where they know more about you than you know about yourself. Now, one of the things that's just recently come out, I've come across this personally, and I'm hearing a lot of people have come across it personally. I don't know if it's a test run system because I haven't seen it recently, but maybe it's something that's still going on, and the ad blocker that I use has been updated to avoid it. But if you spend a good amount of time on this platform, you probably know that they have absolutely seeped videos with ads. You want to watch a video, you have to watch an ad in the beginning, you have to watch 3 in the middle, and you have to watch 1 at the end. All 30-second ads, and you're only trying to watch a 20-second video. It's just how it goes. But it has nothing to do with money. A lot of people think, oh, YouTube's just trying to get their ad revenue. YouTube doesn't get much money, like, at all from this platform. Ultimately, it's owned by Google. In case you didn't know, Google doesn't really get much money from this platform at all. It has nothing to do with money, but what they're doing with these ads is they're trying to learn more about you, and they're utilizing Google AdSense to do that. And it has to do with surveillance, keeping tabs on you at all times, because all the data that those ads are collecting from you is getting sold to the government. So if you spend any time on this platform, you may have seen this pop up before. I have personally seen it pop up. It says ad blockers are not allowed on YouTube, and they'll give you an opportunity to exit out first couple times. Then they give you a timer on the X for a little bit longer. And then after that, they give you 3 videos before they just shut you down altogether. So this doesn't have to do with them trying to get money. They don't care if the ads play or not. They don't care about the revenue, like a lot of people will lead you to believe. What this has to do with is ad blockers are keeping their data collectors from grabbing your information so they can sell it to the government. And so ultimately, they're trying to force ads on people so they can continue to keep tabs on people. And this just, again, has to do with the surveillance state that we see. This beast system that's coming in is going to want full and total tracking, tracing, and the ability to watch you at all times. Doesn't matter if it's where you're going or what's happening on the inside of your body. They're trying to find ways of keeping tabs on everybody. And this is just another step in that direction of always making sure that they're collecting as much data about you, I would say, as humanly possible, but really as AI possible, because it's the AI that's leading all this stuff and collecting as much data on you as possible. So just want to give you guys a heads up. Ads aren't really for revenue for most. I'll say for most, because there's some smaller guys that do buy ads because they're just trying to make a living. But for the bigger companies, for the bigger corporations, they don't care about that. They just want your data, because ultimately the data you produce is more valuable to them than you and what you would buy that they have. Just something to keep in mind. So I'll leave you guys right here. Hopefully you have a good rest of your week. Make sure you go out and you share Jesus with somebody at least one time this week. That's what we need to be doing right now. Make sure you get the gospel of the true Jesus Christ out there and let God work. Let God work. He's in full control, guys. Remember, and I'll leave you with this. While they may be always watching and keeping eyes on us, remember, God is keeping an eye on all of them a lot more closely than they can ever keep on us. So keep that in mind.